Facebook announced it's pausing the rollout of an Instagram application designed just for kids under the age of 13. Cassie, our social media web director, I'd like to get you in on this. So the pause comes after widespread criticism of the company's handling of research showing Instagram is detrimental to young people's mental health. I believe you and I, and most of us watched... What was the name?
Social Dilemma.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they had the statistics of how Instagram and social media apps were affecting children's psyche.
I like to know, if I'm being manipulated, I want that to be face-to-face.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be part of an algorithm. You're
Now,
way too smart for me.
The head of Instagram said he still strongly believes in creating a version of Instagram for tweens between the ages of 10 and 12, where there wouldn't be any ads and stronger parental controls, given that kids are downloading apps and misrepresenting their ages. So the suspension of Instagram Kids comes just a few weeks after the Wall Street Journal reported that Facebook and Instagram's own research has shown that Instagram is having a harmful impact on the body image and mental health of its younger users, particularly teenage girls.
Is that surprising to anybody?
Not at all to
Nope.
me,
Right?
which is why I find it odd they would push back.
Yeah.
I mean, and Cassie, as our social media director, I'm sure you've seen these numbers.
Yeah, what's surprising to me is that it came from Facebook's own internal research, like you said, and that they still ignored that and moved forward with it anyway. And I think, it's no surprise Facebook doesn't really have their users in mind. They're all about the bottom line and being a big tech giant. But it's gross. These are kids. You know what I mean? Like, you have to draw the line somewhere. And as an adult, you can consent into that stuff and be aware of it. But as a kid, like, you don't know about all of that stuff. And if you're a parent who's not tech savvy, it's really hard to get a handle on some of these apps that your kids are on. And I know parents try their best, but we have to put like the moral burden on some of these companies to protect our kids.
Yeah, here's a crazy thought. Because I know kids are going on to these social media apps and lying about their age and being subjected to predators. Instead of having an Instagram for kids, how about they just don't use the platform?
That'd be nice.
That would be awesome.
Like,
I don't think
parents
there's a way
just
to make it healthy.
parents just be like,
You know?
after you see the numbers, be like, yeah, no, I'm sorry,
Right.
you can't download this app.
Yeah, and I'm sure that there are plenty of parents that do that. And if you feel responsible for doing that in your own house, that's your own business, man. You can never put this on any of the social media platforms.
No.
You got to follow the money trail.
No
But
way.
it
I think you
is.
do need to put it on the social media
Yeah.
platforms. If research is showing girls as young as 9 and 10 are manifesting eating disorders and body image issues and depression because of apps like Instagram, that's unethical at that point. You know that. The research has shown that. So we as like a community, as citizens of the US or whatever, need to step up and say, this is not okay. This kind of behavior is not okay. This is actively harming our children. You need to put some restrictions on it, Facebook and Instagram.
Davi?
I remember like being as young as 7 years old and looking at the Cosmopolitan, all the different magazines. And that was once a week at a grocery store that I would feel absolutely awful about myself. And I developed bad food behaviors. Can you imagine all of those magazines? Like not once a week at a grocery store, just being in the palm of your hand all the time. Kids can open that and feel terrible about themselves. So I think we do have to put it on the social media platform. They're pushing the prettier people. Like even on TikTok, like, Lizzo is getting hidden and the prettier people are getting pushed to the For You page, and it's just how it is.
Well, and also, too, you have to remember, like, the internet and the social media apps are like the wild, wild west, and they haven't been regulated. Whereas television, radio, there's FCC, there's regulations when it comes to TV and, movie ratings and parental ratings and, safe harbor hours and things of that nature. So I do feel like there is something needs to change, whereas there are certain regulations to protect kids.
I just put the responsibility on parents. Like, I just can't assume that social media apps are going to do the right thing in the interest of morality. I understand it. They follow the money trail, man. And as a parent, it's my responsibility to see what my kids are into and what they're not into.
Agreed that it's a parent's responsibility, but it's also now time to hold them accountable for what they're doing to exacerbate the problem.
And that's why there are labels on other dangerous products. Like, we know it's a parent's responsibility to tell your kids not to smoke, but that doesn't mean there isn't a Surgeon General's warning on every pack of cigarettes, and there's not education out there about how it causes cancer. If something is detrimental to your health, then you need to have a warning label about it, and restrictions need to be put on place. It's on both the parents and also the companies producing the products.
The Bert Show.